Hello and welcome to John's Author Diary for the weekend in November the 4th, 2018. I always find it's a bit slow going in the first week back after having a break, just getting back into the routine and the rhythm of writing. But what I ended up doing was adding another 2,000 words to the Empress, and then I've finished the final draft as well of the Emperor. So I've now got those novellas complete and ready for the editor. Now what I'm going to do once these novellas are out is I'm going to repackage them as a box set. So for people who have missed out on reading the first few episodes, then they'll be able to come in at the series and get straight into the story. My plan is that when this whole process is complete of writing all these novellas, then I will repackage them again as novels, because the way I'm writing them is in these arcs. So the book that I've just written, The Emperor, works as like the last act of a novel, and then in the entire arc of the main story, this will be in a hero's journey. This would be the bit where they go to the other world. So this, for example, in Star Wars is the point where Luke Skywalker has to leave his home planet. And so that's where I am now in the story. These first 5 books are the end of the first act in this wider story. I've been brainstorming a lot of ideas for how the next few books are going to go. I know what I'm going to be doing for the Hierophant. I've got that outlined. I want to start writing that on Monday. As for the rest of the series, it's still a bit up in the air. I know where it's going. I know what the main plot points are going to be throughout the series, what needs to be achieved by the end of each book. But as I found writing these previous novellas, things change, new ideas for storylines emerge. It's been a really exciting creative process. Earlier this week, we launched the 6th collection of otaku stories. This one is called Bloodline, and these are 3 vampire stories, so we got them out just in time for Halloween. I have to say, looking at all the covers together, it's amazing that we've already got 6 collections out there. So I think we need to give ourselves a bit of a collective pat on the back for that. I think what we're going to do with the Otaku One Writing podcast is record our next set of reviews. So these are of an anime from the 80s called Dominion Tank Police. And then we're going to produce stories for that, release that, and then we're going to take a bit of hiatus, maybe until the new year. So this basically means that we'll have December off, because producing a short story every 3 weeks and doing all the podcasts is actually quite time consuming, and it's just a good way to recharge and get ready for the new year and to have a look at ways we can improve the format of the show or anything like that. On the Stop Booking Around podcast, I did a bit of a solo show last week. Russ is on hiatus, so he's just been in Amsterdam this week, opening a shop as part of his regular business. Then he's got stuff to do in London next week, so it's going to be a few weeks yet until I get Russ back and see how he's getting on with his writing. So I've just been speaking to Killian Carter, who is an independent author who's just about to go full-time as an author. And so we had a really good conversation about the mindset you need as an author. So hopefully that'll be really useful for people who listen to the podcast. In reading, I read Making Money by Terry Pratchett. It was a great antidote to the Robin Hobb book that I abandoned. One thing Terry Pratchett is good at is moving a story along. So it was a nice, fun, tight read, well written, great characters, everything I could want from a fantasy novel. As well as that, I've also been reading a craft book about dialogue by William Bernhardt. Now, there was nothing in this that was new to me, and so it's made me think that maybe I need to think about ways that I can take my writing to the next level, maybe next year or the year after, attending some kind of writer's workshop or something like that. So I found it really beneficial to me. I think it was in 2015 when I attended an Avron course, which was a science fiction workshop. So it was a week residential, and I got to spend time with people like Jeff Ryman, Simon Ings and other aspiring authors. And so I don't know, I need something else to bring my writing up. I'm always wanting to improve my writing. So anything that I can do to take it up to that next level is going to be really good. I've also been listening to some lectures. So these are part of the Modern Scholar series. These are basically just about medieval history. So I think it's called the Medieval World 1 series that I've just finished listening to, and I've started on the Medieval World 2. So the first one is basically just about empires and kingdoms and things like that. And then the one that I've just started is more about economics and the social structure and culture and things like that, which are the things that interest me more as an author. I finished watching the second series of Making a Murderer, and my goodness, that show is so compelling. So this is the true crime documentary that I mentioned last week, and the new lawyer that Stephen Avery's got, I think she's called Kathleen Zellner, is just a complete badass. She has completely demolished the case against Stephen Avery, and she believes that she has solved the murder, pointing a finger at another alleged murderer. So very interesting show, highly recommended. It's very dark, it's very grim and gritty, it's very sad as well. But I think that as an author, I'm learning stuff from that, from the way the story's being presented, how you keep the attention of people, how you keep things being compelling when sometimes it can be quite a dry, pernickety subject in the law. So I've had no questions this week, but if you do have a question, please get in touch. It's at JLCronshaw on the Twitter. You can also email me. It's john@johncronshaw.com. That's JONCRONSHAW. If you want to get into my Ravenglass Chronicles series, please visit geni.us/Ravenglass, and that will take you to the Amazon page. So until next time, cheerio.